Thank you for choosing Pet Playgrounds for your dog enclosure needs. In this installation video, we'll show you how to measure for your proposed enclosure, how to assemble and wrap your gate with the fencing materials that we have provided, and we'll show you a few tricks that our certified professional installers know that you can use to make our fencing system work exactly the way you need. Our system has been designed to use your house as one side to enclose the fence. In this particular install, the customer wants to start the enclosure from their deck and will go all the way around to the other side of the home. We'll also take a look on how to wrap unique areas like this deck. Let's get started. The first step is to measure the length of the kit that you need to order from Pet Playgrounds. To do this, simply start walking from where you want to start the enclosure and count your steps. Walk normally, not heel to toe. Once you're done, multiply that number by 2.5. That will give you the length you need to order in linear feet. Make sure to include any special areas like this deck in your measurements. Our customer has already chosen a 6-foot tall fence, so that's what you'll see us install today. We also offer 4- and 5-foot fencing options. The installation procedure is very similar for all three. A note for contractors and advanced do-it-yourselfers. You can use a measuring wheel to get an exact measurement. However, if you are a homeowner and don't already own one, we don't recommend purchasing one simply because walking the perimeter as discussed will be accurate enough for your measurements. Step 1. Measure, plan, and layout. The first step is to unpack all of the materials that you receive and start laying out your no-dig sleeves approximately 20 to 25 feet from each other. If you ordered a gate, make sure you lay out the 2 no-dig sleeves that you will use to install your gate posts. We'll install the gate after the rest of the fence has been installed. If you have lots of trees in your yard, you can use them as replacements for our posts. This will make your install faster and will also help blend in the fence into your natural surroundings. We'll show you how in just a few moments. A note for contractors and advanced do-it-yourselfers. For aesthetic purposes, use a string to help you lay out your fence. This will ensure the portion of your fence that needs to be straight is indeed straight. Step 2. Install your no-dig sleeves. Try to get the no-dig sleeves into the ground with your hands as much as you can. Then place the driving cap right onto the no-dig sleeve. Use a medium-sized sledgehammer to pound the sleeves into the ground. If you come across a rock or hard ground, simply move the sleeve 2 to 3 feet in any direction until you completely avoid the obstacle. Our system has been designed to be incredibly flexible, so if you come across an obstacle, you can modify your plan on the fly to accommodate whatever you run into. Sleeves should be driven down at least 50% or until they are solid. A note for contractors and advanced do-it-yourselfers. If it is not possible to drive your no-dig sleeve all the way down, you can easily cut it with a reciprocating saw. This is not mandatory and only necessary for aesthetic purposes. Step 3. Install your posts. Now you are simply going to place the post into the no-dig sleeve. In order to have all of your posts exactly at the same height for aesthetic purposes, you can use white chalk to mark how far each post needs to go into the ground. This is helpful because most yards are not level, and this will help you keep all your posts at the same height. You can also mark where each post collar will need to be placed. You can choose to measure this later if you prefer. For a 6-foot fence, your post collars should be placed 3 feet off the ground and approximately 6 feet from the ground. 4- and 5-foot fences should have post collars 2 feet off the ground. A 4-foot fence should have its top post collar placed approximately 4 feet off the ground, and a 5-foot fence should have its top collar placed approximately 5 feet off the ground. Ensure that you leave a 1/4 inch of space at the top for your decorative cap. We provide 2 finishing nails per post. Use these finishing nails to secure the post in the no-dig sleeve. Use the provided magnetic level to plumb your posts, front to back and right to left. Determine how much and which direction the post needs to go to make it plumb. Put your foot at the base of the post, then hold the top of the post firmly. Tilt and pull it using your weight while holding the base with your foot. This will bend the post within the sleeves in the direction needed to get it plumb. Bend it a little bit at a time. You can use trees and other structures as posts. To use a tree as a post, first pre-drill holes in the same locations for the cables you did on the posts. Use a screwdriver or wrench to twist the eye bolt into the tree or any other structure. If you are using a tree, make sure the tree is at least 6 inches in diameter. When using a structure like a shed, make sure there is solid wood to hold the lag and you're not too close to the edge of the structure. A note for contractors and advanced do-it-yourselfers. If you have lots of trees that you want to use as post replacements, simply mark one post with white chalk with proper measurements, and you'll save yourself quite a bit of time measuring every tree individually. Step 4. Install your post corner kit. The greatest tension on any post is at the top, where the tension cable goes through it. Every corner post that is not a tree or structure should utilize double braces to counteract the tension pulled by the cables. Every kit comes with 2 post corner kits. If you are not attaching your fencing system to the house, you'll need to order 2 more post corner kits to complete your install. Take 2 of the 1 3/8 posts that you received in your kit and drive them into the ground a few inches with your sledgehammer. Note, these brace posts are thinner than the regular posts, which are 1 5/8. Attach the cap to the brace band with the nut provided and secure one of the brace posts into the brace band. Then do the same thing with the remaining posts. A note for contractors and advanced do-it-yourselfers. In some cases, your ground and soil will make it difficult to get the brace post into the ground. In these cases, use your sledgehammer as a table. Use a hammer or a mallet to flatten the indented portion of the brace post. Leave the post just as you would label any other post, and then secure the brace band tightly. Step 5. Install post collars and the cable. Our kits now come with round post collars with pre-installed eyelags. This is another feature that is completely unique to pet playgrounds. We used to require you to drill 2 holes on every post, but not anymore. Simply slide the post collar to its proper position and tighten the eyelag. For a 6-foot fence, you should place your post collars at 3 feet from the bottom cable and 6 feet from the top cable. For 4 and 5-foot fences, you should place your post collars 2 feet off the ground for the bottom cable. For the top cable, you should place your post collars at 4 feet and 5 feet respectively. Just make sure you leave a 1/4 inch of space for your decorative cap. Your 12-gauge braided steel cable will come on a spool. Simply run the 12-gauge tension cable through each eyelag on your post collar, or trees if you're using trees as post replacements. Create rectangular sections that are closed every 40 to 60 feet using the provided gripple, also known as cam lock, to attach the ends and close the rectangles. This will create a top rail and bottom rail for your fence. You will attach the fencing materials to this cable. Your cable will go into the gripple easily, but will not come out. Use a pair of pliers to pull both sides of your cable tightly. There is no need to over-tighten. Trim your cable, leaving a few inches to spare. Step 6. Install the metal hex wire. Roll out the metal hex wire for an entire section for an extra few inches of material, which is always needed when starting or stopping a roll of the metal hex wire. Use the provided hog wringer to attach it to the cable. Use your foot to bend and create a flap that is 6 inches to 12 inches that lays flat on the ground. Pull the hex to the next post or tree and ring it on the other side of the posts. Then go back and ring the hex to the cable every 3 feet. You will be creating a 6-inch flare that can be staked. If you ordered a gate, you will need to use a pair of wire snips to cut the metal hex wire and fold it as shown. This will allow you to have a proper opening for your gate. For corners, use wire snips to cut the metal hex wire at a 45-degree angle, then overlap the 2 pieces of metal hex wire. Use your hands and your feet to contour the material to your terrain, trees, and corners. This particular material was chosen for the bottom half of the fence due to its incredible flexibility. In this particular install, you see that we are going to install our fence right over this incredible large rock. If you have a simple situation, simply cut the metal hex wire and split it like shown. Cut a few scraps and lay it over the part that is cut. you will be overlapping this area too, and later we'll secure it with stakes. It really is that easy. Step 7. Install the polypropylene mesh. Just like you did with the metal hex wire, give yourself a few extra inches and start by attaching the cleaner flat top end of the mesh to the top cable with the hog wringer. Unroll enough polypropylene to make it to the next post or tree. Then go back securing the top edge of the mesh to the top cable, hog ringing it every 2 to 3 feet apart. Allow the polypropylene mesh to overlap with the metal hex wire as shown. Hog ring the metal hex wire and the polypropylene mesh together every 3 feet where they naturally meet. Pull the bottom of the material to get any wrinkles out. For angles, the polypropylene mesh can be cut, then overlapped at any angle to match the terrain, just as was done with the metal hex wire. Use the provided heavy-duty black zip ties to straighten the fencing material and connect it to the post at the bottom at every corner post as shown. Step 8. Install stakes into the ground. Our stakes are kinked to help them hold into the ground well. Hammer these stakes into the ground both where the polypropylene mesh and metal hex wire meet the ground and at the front edge of the hex wire so that it lies relatively flat on the ground. Stakes should be put in a 45-degree angle, about every 3 to 4 feet. Eventually, the ground will grow through the flared-in part of hex wire that is flat on the ground, adding to the strength of the fence and hiding that part of the fence. You will be able to mow your lawn right over the dig guard and these stakes with no problem. If you are unable to get your stake into the ground, simply choose another location. Step 9. Finish attaching the fence to the house. Depending on your installation and the type of house you have, you can use a staple gun to attach the polypropylene mesh and metal hex to the house with the extra material that you were instructed to leave when starting and stopping. Additional layers of material for start and end points can always be added to make them even more secure. This method works great if you have shingles, but if you have a brick home, that method won't work. In this install, we're going to use posts that are flush to the start and end point of the fence. So we'll wrap these posts just like we've done with all the others. Step 10. Protect other areas. For this particular install, we'll be wrapping the entire deck. We've used the same methods to fence in this area as we've used throughout this installation process. We use posts just as we did fencing in the rest of the yard, but for aesthetic purposes, we've used a reciprocating saw to cut the posts to the height of the deck. We used eye-lags in other areas of this deck just as we did when we used trees as post replacements. We ran the cable the same way we did with the rest of the fencing area. There are a few special tricks that we did here. We will stake these areas in later. It's simply a matter of working the materials enough to secure fence in this area. Step 11. Assemble and wrap your gate. If you have a standard 5-foot wide gate, the first step is to set the sleeves and posts 5 feet 2 inches apart. Install the no-dig sleeves and posts just like we did before, and level each post. In some cases, you'll find that where you want your gate isn't level, so you could have your posts all different heights. To fix this, grab the top bar and simply match the posts together. In this case, the second post was lower, so it was raised to match the first post. You can see where we marked it and how much higher we had to raise the post to match the first one. If we needed to lower the height of the post instead of raising it, we could have just cut the second post with the reciprocating saw to match the height of the first post. Lay out the structure of your gate on the ground using the vertical side pipes and horizontal top-bottom pipes. Our gates no longer need a center support pipe. Connect the outer pieces together using the black corner elbows. Secure each corner elbow using the provided 4 self-tapping screws. Attach each 1 3/8 black aluminum hole cap with screw on each post. Then test the top bar to see if it's level. Because our ground was not level, we'll have to cut the top bar with a reciprocating saw to make our gate perfectly level. Once level, you can secure the aluminum hole cap. On one side of the gate, measure 12 inches from the top and 12 inches from the bottom. Attach one female hinge at each point using the nuts and bolts provided. On the opposite side, attach one female hinge at each point using the nuts and bolts provided. On the opposite side, attach the gate latches, making sure they are 12 inches from the top and bottom, as you did with the hinges. Hook the turnbuckle, located at the end of the corner tension wire, into the center of the corner elbows on the top of the gate. Loop the tension wire through the wire clamp and then through the corner elbow on the opposite side on the bottom. Feed the wire through the wire clamp. Tighten the wire, and then tighten the wire clamp. Then tighten the turnbuckle. Repeat on the other side. Use the metal hex wire and polypropylene mesh to cover the gate. First, use a pair of wire snips to cut the needed amount of material. Lay the metal hex wire on the ground. Pre-cut spaces into the metal hex wire for gate latches and hinges. Work the material into it as tight and straight as it can be for aesthetic purposes. Once you have wrapped the material around, use the hog wringer to attach the material together. As you hog wring the material, smooth the metal hex wire out with your hands to make it look nice and neat. Now do the same thing with the polypropylene mesh and hog wring both materials together with your gate. Stand assembled gate frame upright and connect it to your fence. Hang your gate to the frame using the male hinges. Use your foot to support the gate to help guide the gate to the frame. That's it. Now all that's left to do is let your dog run free. Still have questions? You can call us 24/7 with our toll-free number at 1-800-985-9202. Please visit us on Facebook and send us pictures and videos of your dogs running free. Thank you for choosing Pet Playgrounds.